Hey everybody, welcome to DJ Kels and Friends. I'm about to get lost a couple minutes, y'all. It's one of them days, y'all. It's one of them Tuesdays, but we do want to say, hey, and welcome back to DJ Kels and Friends. We have an awesome show in store for you guys tonight. Um, we have an awesome show in store for you guys tonight. I'm working some kinks out on my end. I know y'all probably like, what in the world? We're trying to get the people time to get on in here. I'm about to bring Low Spec in the mix. What's up, Los? How you doing?
Hey,
Y'all, congratulations are in order. Los, give the people the good news.
so I finally got that email that my degree was awarded.
Yay!
So,
You gotta have the sound effects for that. Listen, congrats. Also, too, just as a prelude, I want to let everybody know next week there will not be a DJ Kels and Friends, but y'all make sure y'all hit Los up next week. I'll be nice. We'll call him Big Los next week for his birthday. He'll be celebrating his birthday. There will be no DJ Kels and Friends next week. However, we're in preparation because at the end of the month, the last Tuesday of the month, which will be the next week, we will have our anniversary show. As you all know, DJ Kels and Friends hit the 1 year mark on the 10th of August, but we're celebrating it at the end of the month with an anniversary show that you are sure to not want to miss. So if you've been watching us throughout this year, you definitely want to be on there. Comment section, we need y'all on that one.
right.
We're still in debate if we're gonna do it live or if we're gonna do pre-recorded. I think we're gonna do it live, but we might have just like a video with some of that I'll comprise or will comprise rather of some of our past guests that have been on. Some of them might even come on live. Y'all just don't know. We have to wait and see what that's looking like. But the end of the month, you definitely don't want to miss the anniversary show yet again. Giving the people time to get on, loves, because I feel like this is going to be such a good show tonight, and I don't want anybody to miss any part of it. Well, why are the people getting on here and they getting on slow tonight if they on CP time? They are. They on CP time. If you're in the comment section, if you watch it, let me know what's up. Say hey or something in the comment section because the way this is set up, we really can't see who's watching. So you gotta make sure you say hey or what's up, how your day was doing, something in the comment section. Los, how was your day?
It's been
It was like Precious Mama. It was trying you and trying you.
not for real, like, whew, but we made it through.
Yeah, I had a busy day today. Very overwhelmingly busy, but we made it work. You know what I find when you're having a busy day? It seems like people like text or call you with things that are very annoying. Like,
Yeah,
just annoying. You don't even like it's either something they could have Googled, it's something they could have asked somebody else. It's or
I
hey,
ain't
I'm trying
saying
to
that
link
somebody
with you.
watching.
Like, why is you trying to link with me today? It's Tuesday. I've been doing the show for a year. Like, that's mad annoying. I hope you're watching because it's mad annoying. Like, get out of here with that. Like, people
Like,
be just
really?
doing the
The
darndest.
most.
Yeah, I was gonna say something else, but that sound better. Y'all, make sure if you're watching tonight to like, share, comment throughout the night. Stay engaged with us. We have some great topics. We have a very great guest tonight, and I'm gonna bring him up in just a few minutes. I'm gonna bring him in the field. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with us for a year. Y'all been rocking with us for over a year. So y'all done really went through this whole last year of college with Carlos. Don't you feel accomplished? I feel accomplished. They should put my name beside yours on the degree.
I'm sorry.
Y'all don't know how many papers,
Hey.
how many quizzes and tests I didn't help with. My name need to be on the degree too.
Nah, it's alright.
Y'all, we done went through hair changes. Losan went from locks to haircuts. I done went from box braids to faux locks to ponytails to perms to all kind of stuff. Y'all will see that in our reunion show when we do all our clips.
Right.
Shut up. I don't say shut up, Los, as much.
Like,
That first episode, I said it a lot. You was aggravating. Oh yeah, follow Big Los on all social media platforms. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms. And y'all are watching DJ Kels and Friends. Some more of our people are getting in here. I'm about to bring our guest up in just a few. Our guest. So y'all know how I do. I like to tell the people how I know the people. So, because Los, you don't know our guest, do you? I love when Los don't be knowing what's going on, and he had that look out. It's like a cute little smile, but it's like I really don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go with the flow. So I like to tell y'all how the friends become the friends, because you can't be DJ Kels and Friends if they're strangers. Duh. So I met our friend. I'm trying to think. First time I met him, probably elementary school. That makes sense. Yeah, elementary school. So that makes sense. And that's how I know the friends. Like, when you grow up like on the same side of town or whatever, you end up going to the same schools. So you end up, knowing each other's families and things like that. I think like one of his siblings is probably one of my classmates or something to that effect. So that's how I know him, like just from the East Elementary days to go on and go on. So you kind of can see people's journey from a distance or see them blossom from a distance. And we want to get into that without getting into that. Because, sometimes when you get introduced folks, you tell the story. And then when they tell the story, you be like, oh, we already heard it. So you got to just chill out and watch that unfold. So without any further ado, we're going to bring Terrence in. Terrence is, you guys, he is not just an artist. He's a life coach. He's a model. He does a lot of things. I think he has like just a lot of things. So we don't want to like skip it because we want him to tell it later. But we're going to have a warm DJ Kels and Friends to welcome as we bring Terrence into the stream. Hey, Terrence.
What's up? What's up?
How's it going?
I'm breathing. I'm here. So,
Hey, you sound like us.
right? How y'all
So
doing?
we're doing good. Well, I'm speaking for both of us. I'm doing good. Los, how you doing over there?
okay,
What's that weather like in Greensboro? Los.
It's actually pretty cool. A little cloudy.
Thank you, weather report.
I wish it was a little rainy. Like,
My man was like, he was like, a little cloudy. Like, thank you. Partly cloudy skies and a little breeze, huh?
Right? With a chance. What's that movie? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Right. Yeah, we're trying to feel that little fall weather coming through. About time. But yeah, we're gonna get into some just some hot topics, just some little things just to warm us up, to get us going. Then we're gonna get into the mix. All right, you guys, I got a question for y'all starting off. Now I think I posted this on my social media a couple weeks ago, but I want to ask it again. All right, and to our friends watching, what is your biggest pet peeve? Is it when people pop up unannounced? Is it when people ask for money? Is it people being in your personal business? Or is it when people take things without asking? What is your top pet peeve that's on that list?
I'm
Lowe's,
get,
let's start with you. Because your face is
that's
like.
a hard one because a lot of those,
So, in other words, you checking all the boxes?
basically,
yeah.
All of the above. Both of y'all going all of the above on that one?
I'm like guilty of by association by all of them.
You know what? I think mine, though, the top for me, it just depends. But asking for money, I'm going to say asking for money. And Los, don't laugh. Because I don't know what it is. Like, I used to work, I don't know if it's because I used to work for a bank or what, but like people just randomly, and they don't just randomly ask for like $5 or $10. Like, it'd be big amounts. Like, what do I look like? Like, I think, and too, it seems like people always ask me for money on a day that I just paid a big bill. Like,
right?
it'll just be like a regular day in the neighborhood. It's like I just paid my car payment and somebody's like, hey, can I borrow $50? Like, what? No. So I think the money thing is gonna be my.
I feel like my biggest one would be the popping up unannounced, because especially when you get into that solitude and honoring yourself, and that protecting your peace, valuing that, that popping
Yeah.
up seemed like a you can't help but go in defense. You know, you like, hold up, like
Right. Okay, I gotta agree with you on that because, or too, like when it was like a pre-announced, like it's like I'm on my way or I'm about to pull up on you. Like, no, 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 hold on, wait. Like, no. And then it's like people will make you feel bad for not wanting to have company.
Nah, y'all ever pulled up at home right after work and you have people like coming to visit you? You like, what you doing here? Like, you ain't tell me you was coming. You just here.
Surprise!
Like,
We just want to come see you.
whew.
Yeah, that is a bad like because especially when you're like decompressing from your day and you just like you just need that time alone. It just yeah, okay. That might have to be the top. Let me look at that list again. That might have to be the top. Yeah, I think that might want. I don't know. Being in my personal business, let's because see when you pop up unannounced, I don't care if my car is outside. I'm not answering the door.
Ah.
Lowe's. Well, I ain't never did it at Lowe's, but I've done it to other people, and I have been in the house looking at the people, and I got cameras too. So when you drive up in the driveway, I already know you here. But so yeah, no, I think too that personal business because like I'm gonna let you know what I want you to know. You ain't gotta pry, you ain't gotta ask around. But when people start digging, and there's some people so nosy, they won't even ask you. They're gonna ask everybody around. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say that in the personal business one. Yeah. I think that's my final answer. As I have picked all the answers just about.
we gonna go with that one. Okay.
Yeah, the personal business. I don't like nosy people.
True.
Something about that don't sit right with me.
That goes back to that private life thing, and I'm cherishing that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you guys, did y'all know that they found their first case of monkeypox that was transmitted from the dog to the human? So, like, somebody's dog had monkeypox. I guess they were petting the dog. They didn't know that the dog had it. They contracted it, and they found, like, I guess when they traced back how they got it, it came from the dog. The dog had it. Like,
I'm
this
just
is
trying to
getting out of
figure out how this even happened because it ain't like dogs just free roam. They going out clubbing. They ain't doing that bit. Like, did they take it to a groomer and maybe the groomer had it? Like,
I don't know
only
if it's
Carlos
really
would really
true.
try to go down the list of how the dog got the monkeypox.
You know what? I'm almost like questioning everything. I'm like, huh? It ain't got nothing to
Right.
do with a dog. How do you get the monkeypox in the first place? It's like, what?
Right. Like that to me is bizarre. Like how like both of y'all are saying, how did this dog get the monkeypox to give it to the human? I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing is getting really strange and just really crazy. And
I
yet
try my
again,
best to stay away from the news.
yeah, you know what? Lately, I would say I used to be a news buff. I used to watch the news all the time. But I would say in the last 2 years, I probably watched the news the least in my whole life. And I'm at better peace because of that. Like, it just gets outrageous.
Yo,
I watch enough so I know what's going on around me, mostly local news. But other than that, I don't watch it as much as I used to. And the fact that the Simpsons are kind of predicting everything that's going on in real life,
I need to start watching The Simpsons some more. I need to
that's
find out
going to
what's
be your
happening
news
next.
source now. You just going to start watching
Yeah,
the Simpsons. They say they're predicting the monkeypox. I don't know. I don't watch the show.
yeah. I saw that. I was like, whoever wrote The Simpsons must be prophetic or something. I don't know. That was out here.
Or they got some government ties or something.
But that too. Like, is the government watching the news and they just like, I mean, is the
Maybe they
government
watching the
watching The
Simpsons.
Simpsons and they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do that. The only thing I didn't predict was Trump getting assassinated. They said he got assassinated, so we'll sit back waiting on it to happen. It didn't happen. So We'll see.
I want to speak so soon.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Look,
Like,
wink, wink.
in new news, on yesterday, Nipsey Hussle's birthday would have been yesterday, and he was honored by his Hollywood Walk of Fame. So you can go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You'll see a new star with Nipsey Hussle on it. How do you guys feel about that? I guess you could say.
I don't think Nip really would care about that. You know.
Right. I feel like too. Sometimes people get their flowers too late. It was a nice gesture. I think that it was a great way to honor him. But I think a lot of people, especially like I'll just say a lot of black people get theirs either they're too old or they're dead by the time they get it. It's only been a few that kind of get it while they're at their height. Um,
Right.
I feel like it was kind of I don't know. I just felt that that one was a little awkward.
It's a lot
It
of
was
hype, and I me living in where I was in the Bay Area in Oakland, but
mhm.
travel a lot to LA. And I tell people like, turn off the TV, go travel. Then you'll really see the reality. Like as I'm on literally walking to Hollywood Square, you're going walking to Hollywood Square, you're gonna like see all these people that's on the street. Like this is what they're not broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? And this from experience, seeing hundreds and thousands of people on the street.
Yeah.
And we're talking about places like Skid Road is literally right down the street from the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And so
Mhm.
again, you're seeing people from all types of cultures, backgrounds. Sometimes they're millionaires. Sometimes their family gave up on them. You never know their circumstances. So I don't really buy into the hype of that stuff because I feel like a lot of that stuff just be distractions. So, but I always give like one thing I did like about Nipsey is that it's not about really liking his music for some
Mhm.
people, but he had a lot of knowledge to drop. And people, if you really paid attention to him, like he would say things to where um it's more like being in tune with spirit, telling people like, look, live your life, enjoy it, stay true to yourself, stuff like that. And we all have our role. But that's one thing I tell people, man, go out here and travel, go learn about yourself, go learn about your history, not from what's been told, but go learn, go research, go do something because like I said, living out there in Cali, it is not what people, you know, portray it to be, man. Like when you start traveling, you start to see like kids. Like I'm talking about when I was traveling through New Orleans, I saw kids on the street. Still, people still affected by Katrina,
Right.
still living up under the bridge. And so that's why I realized like I give people the real, and so I could see why I don't have a lot of friends because of authenticity. But that's just who I am. So, but it's like, and for in the honesty, like when I felt like Nipsey did the victory lap, it's like I felt
Mhm.
like he knew he was going. Like he was
Yeah.
celebrating, he was preparing himself, like to be like honest with people. Like he, that's how I see like with Pac and Biggie. Like a lot of them was preparing because you got to know when you living in your truth and you walking in your authenticity. That comes with a lot of people. That comes with like a target. That comes with the acceptance of like, hey, death. That comes with the reality, like, hey, we all gotta go. So a lot of that stuff is, like I said, I still listen to his music and I listen for the message. And I feel like that's what most people confuse the messenger with the message.
Agreed.
So
Agreed. I think Nipsey did. He dropped so many jewels, and not just in music, like even in his interviews and just different little things that he was saying, like you were saying, leading up to. So it's like I feel like people kind of know. They might not know right exactly when, but they know their time is ending near. Like
yeah,
you can tell by the way they start preparing things, and you can just kind of tell. And I think, like you were saying, a lot of times we get caught up in distractions and we miss what's really right here in front of us.
we have so much to be grateful for. Like I said, it's so many people. Um, like I couldn't tell you like the millionaires I met on the street. Like I'm telling you, that junk is reality. Some of these
Mm-hmm.
people, like it'll amaze you when you go places because they look like you. They look like us, mothers, kids, and stuff. And so, and one thing I realized, like people, man, they're ungrateful. It's not their fault, but some of them, I'm like, yo, there's so much more you could really be doing. But you out here playing with yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's no excuses. That's why I don't buy into a lot of the hype, like with news and a lot of stuff. Like I know my path, and the best thing. One thing Nipsey did say, he said, the greatest thing we can ever do is, you know, greatest thing we can ever do is inspire. So you gotta inspire people no matter what you're doing, just like what you're doing. Like you holding the space for people to speak their truth. That's a beautiful thing. You know, even more in detail, like when we do get on subject about certain things, but that's the beauty of all of this. You know?
I agree. I think that like we have to use what we have while we still have it. You know, a lot of times people are like preparing for future tense, but you have to kind of live in the now too. And like, because you don't want to look back and say, I should have done this, or I should have gone there, or I should have, you know, you want to be able to live in the now, live in your truth, and really live. You know what I'm saying? Not just exist, but live. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in what's popular, or we get caught up in, you know, different fads and trends that are trying to be pushed on us that we don't really do what's in our heart of hearts to do. All right, you guys, I got a question before we go into our musical break. Well, before I go to my question, before the musical break, what are you guys listening to now? A lot of artists have dropped some new music. There are a lot of different sounds that we've been kind of introduced to. Some sounds that's been around. For example, I did an event a few weeks back. I was talking to a guy, and we were talking about how Afrobeats has taken a front and center stage right now, which we know that Afrobeats has always been around. But it's like it's starting to be popular now and commercialized now. But what are some things that you guys are listening to? What are some vibes that you're listening to, or maybe some artists that you're listening to currently? Like, what's on your soundboard right now? Either one.
I'll
You
let you
want to
go
go?
first.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting because I feel like I was telling someone as an artist, it's like you're in between like a mad scientist and like a genius in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll go from Tupac Hail Mary to the London Orchestra. You know what I'm saying? But that's the balance, I have. It's like at certain moments where I need to feel some type of emotion or something, I'll listen to something like to where it's like, okay, who do I really need? Who can I connect with? And, that's I always feel like for me, there's messages in certain music. So, um, I listen to Tim's, Kid, Bob Marley, in the reggae, Afro beats, like you were speaking about, um, classical. I recently found out like John Coltrane, which is a like world renowned like jazz. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
jazz. He's from freaking Hamlet, North Carolina.
Yeah, and
And
they
I'm
have
like,
a
what?
they do a festival every year for him, and then it's another big jazz person that's from like Chirral, like, and it's just like world renowned, like. I can't think of it off the
Yo,
top of my head, but I'm just like, what in the world? Like, because you don't, these are things that are not taught to us, and it's right here. People all over the world praise these people. And the funny thing is, I I listen to a lot of jazz. I took a class at UNC Pembroke, Introduction to Jazz, and as
hmm
we're learning about these things, the professor said something about Coltrane. I'm like, oh yeah, I listen to stuff. He's like, yeah, he's right from down the street in Hamlet. And I'm like, Hamlet, like Rockingham, Hamlet, like down the street.
right?
Yeah, but it's little gems like that that we don't know, we don't get taught.
Yeah. But my if I had a fave, it will. Man, I'm telling you, like I listen to all kind of genres, but I listen more for the message because some days I don't want to hear words. So that's why I listen to classical. Uh, but um, but most importantly, like live music hits a different way. Let me tell you, that live music, that drum and that he know like that live music really it touches you. That a lot of the phone stuff don't do much, but like it helps. So kind of that's like my kind of spill on that.
Okay, Los, what's your take on listening? Like, what are you listening to currently? What helped you get through this last semester?
What? No, y'all ain't gonna judge me. So,
No, we're not. Come on,
No,
you
this
got
playlist, I can
Power in the
already
back.
tell you, this thing gonna go from A to Z really quickly.
so, you know, getting through like some of them nights, I had to listen to like some rap, some old Nicki, some old 21. I also listened to like some gospel. It just very
How you go from Nicki?
exactly. I know that's why I said y'all not gonna judge me. So, but yeah, like also old school, Fantasia, Escape. Like it just really depend on.
Sound like school is a relationship.
Right, like it's an emotional one for you too. You went from in love to it to want to fight it to just want to get through with it. God help you get through it. Like you was up to
Woo. I'm over here crying for you, bro. I feel
like for real.
Is there more to this playlist? It's more. I feel it's more.
It's more, yeah.
It is.
I mean, like I'm trying to think. It just really depends on my mood, like, because sometimes I'm in the mood for like, kind of like you were saying, like you don't want to hear words. For me, it's like sometimes I don't want to hear shoot 'em up, bang bang. Sometimes I want to just hear some soft music I can kind of sing to. Sometimes I don't want to.
Right.
Sade, it's okay.
It's okay, man.
Sometimes I don't want to hear R&B because sometimes it's like it take you back to like over relationships, different stuff like
Are
that.
you
So
having
sometimes I just want to listen to
flashbacks? It's getting
gospel,
good.
like
This storyline's getting better than I thought it was. For one question, get it all out, man. Get it off your chest.
Yeah, get it out, man. Don't let channel that emotions. Get it out, Los.
Better out than in, Los. We helping you right now. This is healing process. Come on, bring it out.
Well, yeah, like and also sometimes you just need that gospel because sometimes the devil be trying it. Yeah, you need that pick me up. They'll be trying. You be like,
kind of like smoking Norfolk.
Let me see. I probably
you don't even know what the man say.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I probably listen to some of his music. I feel like that name familiar, so I know I got something to him in my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who your favorite gospel artist, Carlos, that you be listening to? Kaylin Carr.
Nah, when I like her, it's a
you like a Ty Tribbett listener.
It's really a couple like Ty Tribbett, like the Clark sisters. You got
okay, old school gospel.
Yeah, I really like the old school gospel, especially like worship. So like worship is like my number one.
Somebody young, and you were like Clark sisters, like
aggravating. But what's his name? Mr. Custer shout out.
Kurt Franklin.
There we go. Yeah, you gotta have a little.
Not Mr. Custer's shout out. You said it like he wasn't like a known person.
I was gonna say something else, but I feel like I took the high road on that situation. Everybody got a pass. Anyways, also like Lillian Lloyd, I had to go her like like her ad lib stuff like that. That would get me through. Like, but yeah, Ricky Dilly, I like choir music. Like I like that 3 parts and all that.
What's all that you got going on?
My headphones just dropped down right here. But yeah.
I think for me, I guess about like you guys, it just depends on my mood. But I know for a fact when I'm leaving work, because like working with kids, I don't mean no harm in summertime too, and loud. So I have to decompress. So I listen to a lot of like lo-fi music when I'm leaving work. When I'm leaving, like if I just finished DJing or leaving a gig, I gotta listen to like jazz or classical, something calming, because normally parties are really hype and I have to bring it on down. Because if not, if I continue to listen to whatever I listen to at the party, then I won't be able to sleep. So I have to like calm it down. It just depends on what I have prepped for the week. Like if I have an event, then I start listening to the type of music that'll be for that event. But if I don't have an event, normally at my house, it's lo-fi, jazz, it's classical, it's R&B, it's gospel, it's something like that. But if I'm like driving through traffic, you gotta give me like yeah, you gotta give me like some Yo Gotti or something that's gonna get me, through traffic.
That's why people be having road rage now.
Possibly, maybe a little bit. Carlos, I know.
Hey, we ain't talking about me.
But yeah, probably like some. You know what? Megan Thee Stallion just dropped a new album, so I've been listening to her a lot in the car. Who else? Nicki released a new single. Beyonce has a newer album out. I'm not a Rod Wave fan, but he released new music, so I haven't listened to it. It's very depressing, so I don't listen to his music. So what's so anybody listening to anything new that's out?
Hey, what up, Terrence?
Hey.
Oh, hey, I saw a comment. What's that?
But yeah, so this is my question before I go into my musical break. And the question is, at these cookouts and all these events, y'all know it's some staple in the Black community type songs. What song that everybody else love, but you absolutely hate? Now, when I looked at the comments on this, and if you go to like Shade Room on Instagram, you can kind of see a lot of people said this is how we do it. It's like top tier songs that people actually hate, that we think everybody loves.
That they love or hate?
Okay, so like other people love it, but you don't like it. So a lot of people said this is how we do it. I'm trying to think of one that I think for me, the cha-cha slide, the original sounding one, it annoys me. I don't know, something about it annoys me.
Well, you can't be invited to the cookout then.
I'm gonna play the song, and I'm gonna, everybody clap. I'm gonna clap with it, but yeah, it annoys me.
The number one song I feel like people love is Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Oh yeah, you gotta play that now.
You gotta play that. That gotta be the going out song. Like, before I let you go, like y'all ain't gotta go, but you gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, before I let go. But bye y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Now a song you said the hate. I don't really know.
Yeah, so like a song like that normally is played at an event, but you don't like it. I'm with you. See, all them cha-cha slides and stuff. It's too many. They too long. There's too many versions of them, and like that. And for me, what happens is somebody said like they'll say they want a cha-cha slide, but they really want a Mississippi slide, and so I'll play it, and they're like, no, that's the wrong one. Nah, you just didn't know the name of the song, girl. I'm playing what you said. So it's a lot of them variations, and everybody got a different. And now because of TikTok too, people got routines and songs that I didn't know had routines. Did y'all know that there is a line dance to T.I.'s "Bring 'Em Out"? I learned that this week. I didn't know. They asked me for the song. I played the song, and this lady was going to teach this other lady how to do it. And she was teaching the lady how to do it, and the little TikTok generation kids was already doing it, and I was confused.
No.
Because when I think about T.I. Bring 'Em Out, I think about him with that little hat to the side, and I just think about him just going side to side like that.
You talking about bring 'em up,
bring 'em out. Yeah, with the Jay-Z sample. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a line dance to it. It looks like they're running the jazz
dance to everything.
Really, for real. I'm trying to think a song that they play at these events that I don't like. You know what I don't like? In the comment section, y'all don't get mad at me. Y'all fellas don't get. I don't like "Watch Out for the Big Girls." They play that "Watch Out for the Big." I don't like that song. That song aggravates me too. I think I normally skip it. I don't like that song.
No comment.
Lowe's, you gotta have a song that you don't like to hear.
All right, this gonna start the crowd.
It's okay.
Um,
Give it to her.
the Cupid Shuffle.
The Cupid Shuffle.
Like, don't get me wrong, I do it, but
That is kind of played out though.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, give me the wobble, give me the biker shuffle,
Even
give
the
me the Mississippi
Montel
Cha-Cha.
Jordan.
The biker shuffle is long. I don't never play the whole thing. It's long.
Yeah, because I be out
You
there
know the
dancing
full
with the
version of the
folks.
song is really like 9 minutes.
Y'all know we ain't doing no that after a while. Be like, all right, I'm gonna take a break. You gotta
You can
exit
always
dance slow,
tell
slow.
when the dancer's tired because they just start getting off the dance floor like one by one. Like, okay, this song is. I'm
Trying
trying
to
to think
think,
though, like
trying to think like a song, like
people in the comment section saying they tired of Beyonce "Break My Soul." They tired of it. They tired.
I don't care for none of that new music.
uh,
Like I really don't care for none of it. Like
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
yeah.
I feel like it's losing its luster a little bit. Um,
I just thought that Virgo's Groove or whatever that song was. I thought I was gonna like it because with me being a Virgo, and I was like, this thing got nothing to do
Carlos,
with.
after you listen to it like 3 or 4 times, you kind of like it.
Yeah, I've only gave the album one full listen, and after
without the
that,
words, I
just
just
left
like
it alone.
like I
Yeah,
just
you know what? Because she really did tap into that like
Yeah,
house
the beats are
music
fire.
bag. She really did get into. So you know what? She should release an instrumental version of that album. I
Yeah,
bet it would go hard.
yeah, save the words.
Yeah,
Cause
I
that's
bet.
all people know. Please don't like. I'm like, what? I don't want to keep hearing that.
Yeah,
Then you're gonna start hearing people say that when you walk. Would you say to me, please don't break my what? Okay, never
yeah,
mind. I don't even want to talk to you no more.
like
yeah.
people
People,
here talking about some release your job. Don't release
it's
it.
gonna
Keep
be.
that. Keep that.
And
Please keep
look,
your
and
job.
see, that's why they be getting so attached to these people, praising these people. Then what
Right.
9 to 5 Beyonce got?
Thank
Exactly.
you. She ain't
She
had
Good
9 to 5
night.
the thing
since
of it is,
Destiny
she
before
never
Destiny's Child.
had that. She's Destiny Child. She was 14.
I was
She
like,
ain't never had no nine to
no.
five that she had to release.
Oh,
Y'all
I'm
up
Wow.
here
just gonna make
releasing
me
y'all
some
bitter
Y'all
music.
better
beats.
stop listening.
I'm gonna make me some. I see anybody can make music nowadays, so I'm just gonna make me some music, and I'm gonna just be honest.
Hey, just talk to a beat in the background. You
You
got it.
know, look at Londrell.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's not that hard.
No, obviously it's not. All right, y'all. We are going to take a little break from the fellas. We're gonna say bye to Terrence first. Bye to Los next. Pew. Well, they ain't really gone, but y'all just can't see them. And then bye to me like this. Bow. All right, y'all. Y'all stay here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play some of these new songs that we was talking about, or songs that got everybody kind of like in a chokehold right now. Let's see where I want to start. So I'm gonna just chit chat a little bit, play a little bit of these new songs. Y'all tell me in the comment section what y'all think of these new songs. If y'all like them, if they should have kept them, or what. So Nicki Minaj just released a new single called "Super Freaky Girl." We got the Rick James little sample right here. Yeah. Let's see what y'all think. I can lick it, I can ride it while you slipping and sliding. I can do all them little tricks and keep the dick up inside it. You can smack it, you can grip it, you can go down and kiss it. And every time he leave me alone, he always tell me he miss it. He wanna One thing about me, I'm the baddest alive. He know the prettiest didn't come until I arrive. I don't love bitches, get to me, I they man if they try. I got a princess face, a killer body, samurai mind. They can't be Nikki, they so stupid. I just laugh when they try.
You are now rocking with
All right, so this that new Megan Her off of her new album. Y'all definitely gotta check it out. She's real transparent on this album. Good stuff.
What could I say with a face like this in a display? What could I say? The bag so expensive, my book came with it. Body so nice, they be saying who did it. But everything natural, actual, factual. to a prissy in the streets, but I walk like an animal. I don't know who the fuck I am. From your boyfriend down to my Instagram to all them busted that you kiki with. I bet your jaw drop if you ever see me. I'm her. She. Take a pic, it's me. Take your friends, this her. Truth is, really, truth is, if I get caught cheating, that don't mean I don't love you. Get them if I get caught cheating, that don't mean I don't love you. Get them I know you ain't gonna let one look mess all this up. One mistake, all this away, mess all this up.
Man, Mr. Bite Bit himself, man, all the way Dre, and I'm rocking with DJ Kels. Let's go.
You are now rocking with DJ Kels.
All right, y'all. We are, well, I'm back. Hold on, wait. Let's bring Los. Boom. Los is back too. All right, y'all. So, new Megan album out. Nicki I said Nicki the Stallion. Y'all know I'm trying to mix them all up. They should just be friends again. And I wouldn't mix them up.
Nikki,
Whatever. They should be friends
I
again.
don't endorse that message, Nikki.
I do. Have you listened to Megan's new album?
Okay. I listened to most of it. I haven't got all the way through.
And I agree with you, Paris. I feel like they have the female rap game is very over sexualized. If y'all just do me this favor, Paris, Los, anybody else watching, on Megan's new album, listen to the song Anxiety and listen to the song Flip Flop. I feel like she was her most transparent on those two songs. And she talks about stuff we actually want to hear about. Not saying we won't, hear about the rest of the stuff, but I feel like for R&B artists, a lot of times for females, I'm talking females right now, a lot of times they pour out their little heart and then they finally do a sexual album and then boom, it blows up and then people go back and listen to their other albums. With female rappers, it's the opposite. They over-sexualize to get attention. Then once they have your attention, they have their fan base up, then their labels give them a little more freedom, creative freedom, and then they're able to be a little more transparent. And either people listen to it or they're like, nah, give us back what you caught us with. So it's the kind of catch-22 with the female rap game. And just women in the industry in general. I hate it, but the old saying is true that sex does sell. It gets some numbers up. And then once you get the numbers up, you kind of do what you want to do. Same thing with Beyonce, if you think about it. She gave us over this overly sexual, honey. She then became a mom and all this other stuff. And now it's kind of like you're giving us very artsy vibes. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love Beyonce's last album or most recent album, but some people don't like it.
That new it was a couple. I can't remember what song it was. I said, Beyonce, I've never heard you talk like this. Like, she used to give us an innuendo, like on Drunken Love, she was saying she was drinking watermelon and pop, different stuff. And this new album, it was something she said, and I said, I've never heard Beyonce be this vulgar. I am shocked. I am appalled.
Not be this vulgar. You were shocked and appalled.
I was.
She had you bent. Where's your mama? No. All right, y'all. We don't own the rights to any of that music that I just played. People are so annoying. Child, I'm in the middle of my podcast and people text me talking, what you doing? What the fuck I'm doing? You say I'm live, right? Child, they'll get you out of character. That's why I shouldn't have looked at my phone, but I thought it was pertaining to the show. That's why I looked at it. And then about snapped me out of character. About acting a whole fool live on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, the last song. My bad. I did not say the artist name. Thank you, Carlos. Good catch. DVSN, child. Okay, so the song is written by Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri, which y'all already know. If it's R&B, they're gonna write a hit. That's Brian Michael Cox and Jermaine Dupri wrote almost all the Confessions. Almost any big R&B album that's come out of Atlanta, they done wrote it. That's the new like little man anthem of the summer, honey. If I get caught cheating, it don't mean that I don't love you. So then Candy and Tiny had to flip it and make a female version. Now,
Okay, that's what I heard.
with this,
Okay, that's what I.
ain't both of y'all married, so why is y'all talking about it? I mean, Tiny, we know you coming from experience, baby, but I was a little confused by my 40 plus crew married coming up with the remix to If You Get Caught Cheating. But hey, to each his own.
That's what I was wondering because I hadn't heard the male version. I heard, but you remember you sent me the video on
Okay, yeah.
Instagram.
So the male version came out first.
Okay.
And it's been out for a little minute. Okay, you'll see there's a video of Ja Rule and Nelly in a club and they like sing along. That's the song they're singing along to. So it's like the new man anthem, like the hot girl summer. You already got Megan doing her thing, City Girls doing their thing. So I guess this the clapback. It's the male version of Hot Girl Summer. Woo! If they get caught cheating, it mean they don't love you. Yikes! Let me tell you something. Let me just. I ain't even dating nobody, but let me tell you this right here. You singing that song, you might as well just. The song don't even make sense. If I get caught cheating, it doesn't mean I don't love you. You cheating and you got caught.
What it mean then?
If this is love, I don't want it. All right, y'all. We're about to hop into the most important part of tonight, which is our interview portion. So, for those of you who are just getting on, you didn't miss, the good part. I'm not saying the other part ain't good. Go back and watch that, of course. But we just be joking and ice breaking so we can get into the heart of hearts. We're gonna bring our guests back in the mix, and we're gonna hop into this interview and getting to know him and getting to know all that good stuff. Make sure too that you guys are following us on all social media. That's Big Los on all social media. That's DJ Kels 704 on all social media. And thank you guys for being a part of our DJ Kels and Friends family for over a year. Don't forget, we have our anniversary show coming up. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel does have the Juneteenth recap on there, and some more kind of advertisement type stuff. We're gonna have some behind the scenes footage. I was gonna wait to the reunion little anniversary show, but I'll just say it now because I can't hold water. So I've been doing some work. In case you guys follow my social media, you would know this. I've been doing some work with Wingate University with their diversity and inclusion program. So I have been on campus a lot, doing some events. I have an on-campus event coming up soon. So we're gonna have recaps of a lot of the. Not so much the stuff I do off campus with Wingate. They folks like to party. I don't want cameras all in their face. But when I do a lot of stuff on campus with Wingate, you guys will get to be able to see a lot of that footage on the YouTube channel. So you want to make sure that you're watching that. Yay! So we'll be on campus actually on Los's birthday. Well, I'll be. I don't know where he gonna be. Folks, their birthdays, so they just
slide.
Black folks love to slide through. See, Los is tight. He'll slide through, get a plate, and be gone. I'm be like, you ain't gonna help lift those speakers or nothing. And he Los be out there and them little hoochie there shorts trying to be cute. Wow. Yeah, I said it. Busted. Remember too, if you're trying to get onto the show, maybe you're an artist or you're have a business or whatever, you want to make sure you hit us up so we can get you on here. That's a really cute flyer. I should post that more often to get on the show. All right, you guys, we're about to get in it with our guest tonight. We have none other than Terrence J. Well, not Terrence J, it's already taken, but TJ. Can't be taking people brands. My bad. Who is a very accomplished artist. Let me see what I got here. Very accomplished artist. Look at here. I've been stealing stuff from Facebook and stuff. Very accomplished artist and mural. Well, this is a mural, so technically a muralist. He is a model. He is a life coach. As you can see, he's a traveler too. Let's travel. So we're gonna get in it with him tonight. We're just gonna talk and chop it up. Y'all in the comment section, keep those comments flowing. All right, Terrence, welcome back. Let me get you. I think we got you muted. There you go. All right, so you like I just slapped your pictures from your Facebook on there, like, hey.
Hey, look, it is greatly appreciated. It was share return tenfold. I appreciate the support.
Most definitely. So, okay, let's get into kind of introduce to the people that don't know you. Like, tell us about yourself and your journey to where you are now. I know it's hard to summarize like years.
Well, it's the journey is almost like because I always people are, why are you so deep? And I'm like, look, this is my journey. This is me. It's like if I could express it, it's like the process of like a butterfly almost. And being that I'm like returned to like well, since a kid for one, I've been drawing since East Elementary, and that's how me and DJ Kels know each other. Um, and I've been drawing since I can remember. I'll say like kindergarten almost. And so what I knew, then and even to this age now is that when I remember this like it was yesterday. I drew a frog. Like they used to have everybody draw the same thing. So I drew a frog, and everybody would be like, all the kids would come to my picture like, oh, look at you. I'm like, hold up, like, bro, it's really not like that. But it was just so realistic, I guess. At the moment, like we don't really see our gifts until you know we get to certain ages where we go through things and we experience even to the depths, like a lot of pain or whatever. So I had people recently ask me, like, even in my childhood, and I always speak about this, is that a part of being if I want to call it a spiritual coach or a life coach, is that my life experiences has taught me everything about myself. My pain being that, if I could describe it as darkness, would be the reason when you see a caterpillar, you know, inches along its path. At the same time, it has to go to a tree, find a spot to where it elevates. His perceptions change on life. But then when it gets in the cocoon, and again, this is through the process of me being now 32, is that I had to go through being at cocoon stage. I had to go through the darkness. I had to sit with myself. We were talking about Nipsey earlier, and in one interview Nipsey said we're really I'm gonna say it my way, but he was saying something along down the lines. He said, I'm not gonna portray, this image or this facade like I got it all together. And I don't. He said, but he also said is that what sets me apart from anybody else is that I didn't give up. I went through every emotion, and literally, like I was creating some art today, I cried because of the, being from where we from, like the area of Monroe. People demonize that when you return to a place, but of course they don't. They just see the glitz and glams or whatever it is when you're traveling, when you're not around. But then when you're returning to a place, I'm like, I'm not back. I'm here. I'm just, as I do travel anywhere else, you go gain knowledge of something, then you return and you share it. So I realized that a lot of what I did when I was traveling, a lot of things that I was doing, even my growth now upon my journey, is that I was running from myself. you know, and one thing I learned to do as a man is honor my emotions. I will tell everyone that will listen and will see this, men especially and women. Um, it is demonized when you don't honor your emotions and honor your truth. So if I had to learn, and one thing I had to learn about this to accept that, is that I grew up in a home. I grew up in a home that or places where there wasn't really any solid foundation. There was abuse in the home, physically. Um, there was a lot of things that traumatically, uh, like, it's imprinted in your mind, and a lot of people ignore the fact that you don't you don't forget about those things, you know, because that little 5-year-old TJ that was drawn in East Elementary was still that same little 5-year-old TJ that had to come home to, fussing, fighting, arguing, and we think that this is accessible, or I mean acceptable and normal. And when you start to get to a certain age where you're like, man, my piece is so more valuable, that drama and all that stuff. And so that's where I'm at. When people look at my art, I'm telling you, like, yo, do you know the emotions I had to go through? Do you know sometimes when I travel, I had to, I was homeless. Sometimes I was going places, I had to sleep in the car. Like, certain people I met, we traveled together. During the process of traveling across the country, we created one of the masterpieces I did. I created the image that I created. A sister I met in Oakland. Uh, we traveled all the way from California to Carolina, all the way up to Niagara Falls, driving. But during this whole process, she was a writer. And so um, I'm a firm believer that there is no mistakes in life, because someone shared with me, like, you should never beat yourself up over what has happened. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, had I not met these people, had I not experienced those dark, painful moments, how would I know what it is to gain, those beautiful experiences? And so again, in childhood, I had to see those things. I had to see those things where even when you don't feel accepted and appreciated, then my first flight was to Cali. I tell people this: no money. You meeting people. You know what I'm saying? That's the risk. I was always a risk taker. But when I was out there, I was modeling. You know what I'm saying? I was modeling, I was connecting with people, but at the same moment, I still had to be mindful. I still had to be mindful and realize, like, what am I learning here? So I will say this, like, I had just literally got out of an abusive relationship with someone, and a lot of stuff what I realized, that a lot of stuff that we run from, and I was telling Kels about this, is like the healing journey is a lot of things people run away from. When you're in that cocoon, and then no one really knows what goes on in that darkness but you go through your journey with yourself. And so that's where that spiritual teacher, the life teacher, comes in, because we learn through like, when you get to that growth, you learn through your response to life rather than your reaction. And so I realize that now, some people, you're gonna have people that's always gonna have their idea of you. You can be a villain, you can be a hero, but what really matters to you the most is that you're the hero in your own life story, and that's what makes me stand out. And I realize that even the ones that do not want to see or whatever, they see you. Even if they pretend not to, they're watching.
Right.
And so, even most importantly now, like, I have a daughter that's 1. And it's not so much of that, it's so much of the legacy now. And even if you do not have kids, those little kids in the hoods and the projects and the trenches, they see you as a father or a mother. They see you as the little light. You know what I'm saying? Even people in your family, they see you. And I realized this upon my journey. I got to a place where I knew I was healed. I knew I was whole. A lot of things that I was trying to chase out there was outside of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was coming out of an abusive relationship, and certain things happened, and I realized I was fighting the demons that the same thing in my family people wanted to ignore. The alcoholism, the drugs, and it's not so much of blaming them, it's so much of, we all have our own, like, spiritual warfare we're fighting. We all have our own demons we're trying to rise above because they don't really leave us. We rise above them. You see what I'm saying? So
And a lot
because
of times people use things to try to mask or cover things that they're hurting from, and don't realize that the things that they're using to mask and cover are making the wound deeper and making it worse. You
yes,
know, we have a way of trying to like covering ourselves up to make ourselves look like we're doing better than what we are, and we're not.
social media.
Yeah, social media is a big one. You can get on here now, and there are people, they look happy, they look successful, or as what we like to deem as success, cars, houses, relationships, whatever. It looks picture perfect, and they
It's
are
not. Like
miserable.
I've been there when I was out there. Like people forget. Like I had 3 opportunities to play basketball overseas. See what I'm saying? And still active. It's not the brag and boast, but that wasn't my journey at the moment. But I had to go. Stephen Curry used to grow up right at. We used to play ball right up there in Indian Trail at Sun Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I was out there in California and played against people that played in the league. You know, pickup games and stuff. But the reality that I saw is that Spirit was like, "That's not your path. I want you to see the reality. I want you to see the corruption. I want you to be the one to show these young, dark little boys, melanated boys, that your life can consist of something great when you actually be yourself, when you actually love yourself, when you actually honor your emotions, when you actually turn away from the very things that the people are trying to conform you to do. I'm trying to show you that, look, your peace is more valuable than that material stuff. There's no U-Haul
Right.
behind the hearse. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and everything we give it away anyway. So if I learned anything is that when I was traveling and I was out there, people that went with me and experienced stuff, they called me crazy or whatever, but they could never. They forget about these great people that came here, Buddha, Jesus, whatever you want to call them. They went to the very people and washed their feet. They went
Right.
to those very people and talked to them. They went to the very people on the street. And so what you're seeing now is like people laugh, man. They laugh and they don't realize y'all don't see the reality. I give people actuality. Like y'all don't really see what's going on because you rather teach your kids the game material stuff when you don't really want to teach your kids to go out there and serve the other little kids that's on the street that don't have that stuff.
Right.
See, my principles are different. These are morals and principles. So
And
a
you
lot
know
of
that is so true. Just the other day, with our summer camp, we had some leftover lunches, and I said something just dawned on me, like, Kelsey, because the kids, we do this little thing, community service projects, and the kids had
them
talked about
headphones.
like, right, they had
Oh,
talked about how they wanted to like give back to the homeless people. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just ride around, see who we can see, and we can feed people that if they look like they need help or they look they're hungry. So we're just riding around asking. So I asked like this guy. The first place that the first place we saw, we didn't see anybody. The second place we knew like a little hangout by the farmers market. A lot of times there's people that kind of hang out during the day. And
mm-hmm.
so I saw this guy who was sitting there by himself. And I was like, sir, have you eaten today? And he looked up and he was like, no, I haven't. So I gave him some food and I said, listen, this meal right here is hot, but I have another one that's like a cold sandwich. You can have it later or you can have it now, whatever. And he thanked me and it was just the look in his eye. But if we don't move and act when we feel compelled to do it, who's to say that somebody will be there, or if we wouldn't have, who's to say that man would have eaten? I don't know the last time that man's eaten, and I don't know who he is. Like a lot of times we never know. Just as quick as you have it, you can lose it. We teach our kids all this materialistic stuff. Just as quick as you get those things, you can lose them. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? You can be a millionaire one day and homeless the next.
look, and I'm telling you from experience, that's why I'm grateful that I went through what I went through because whatever I gained, it doesn't even belong to me. I teach
Right.
people this is about principles and morals, and you don't see that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like people really out here. I tell people, I'm like, y'all don't even see the judgment. Y'all don't even see the karma that's here, like for the whole world right now. Like, y'all don't even see the reality that These people y'all praising, I could care less about a celebrity. I could care less about none of that because judgment is not for me. You know what I'm saying? But it does say judge the unrighteous. And see, this is why a lot of people are being called out. And because the thing is, I've expressed to them is that some people are just set in their ways. And then you got to, that's the acceptance. And that's one thing I realized is that I was on my bike the other day and I was just walking and it just hit me. The spirit was like, you know what real genuine love is? And this is, I'm going to tell you what the world doesn't have right now. Because people's hearts are really turning cold because they never experienced what a lot of people experience. They never went through that survival. So um, the world is in a mental crisis right now. That's why the world is so sensitive right now because we weren't taught how to honor our emotions. We weren't shown how to love ourselves. We wasn't shown how to be authentic. If you, and I tell people, I give you actuality. I'm the one that shatters the mirror. Like you, if you think that we learn the same way, we receive information the same way. If I draw a 6 right now, and you standing in front of me, you see a 9.
Right.
Does that really make me wrong? No. But the actuality is this is what's really happening is that Spirit say keep your heart open. See, that's the thing goes back to the caterpillar and the butterfly. If you don't learn to love every version in different phases of yourself, you have to love every version of yourself. See, people don't really know love because they don't love themselves. They haven't accepted themselves. And that's what it is they haven't accepted their own darkness. Because you got to realize you're your light in your own darkness. And so when you see the butterfly come out of the cocoon, people don't realize when a butterfly, if it falls too fast, it'll break its wings. If it try to move too fast, it'll fall and break its wings and it won't be able to fly. But also, did you know that the butterfly it doesn't even see its wings.
Wow.
It knows it's there, but it doesn't see it. So the thing I'm saying is this: people know they have gifts. They know that they have a purpose, but they don't acknowledge it. So the only thing again that sets me apart is that I've acknowledged, I've acknowledged that aspect of myself. And that's right there. You have to realize we all have a light, but that right there is what intimidates or triggers other people because your light is bright and they know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't see this, they see your light. And so when I go outside this door, and then where I'm at right now within myself is that I'm already out of here. You know what I'm saying? In a way of like when I look at this place, I tell people how does it really feel for you to be right here? You know the courage. You know the courage that you have to walk outside as a man that's melanated in America. Do you know the courage you have to have? And then the courage you have to have when to really meet someone that really has your back. When you see a lot of our women now that don't love themselves, because if you don't love yourself, how you gonna love the man? And I always tell people the mother is the first teacher because the mother teaches the son what to see in all women, just as the father is the first teacher for the daughter. This is what spirit calls royal energy. You have the mother, the son, the father, the daughter. The mother, the mother, the son, the mother represents like the creation, the universe. Then the son represents everything that illuminates, the power, the fire. The father represents the spiritual, the protector of the family. Then you have the daughter. The daughter represents our character, our value. So what you see now is that I tell people when you really look back at what our people have experienced, not everyone, but here in America, when you see the focus more on people that look like us and what we've experienced, goes back to like even like the Willie Lynch thing or the psychological warfare when you see the algorithm of stuff on freaking the social medias where you can flick this way and it's always fighting and shooting and stuff like that's psychological.
Right.
And so what it does is that mama son father daughter. See, this is gonna get deep now. So for you, Kels,
Mm-hmm.
when your grandmother was pregnant with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say your grandmother is 4 or 5 months along, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were an egg inside of your mother.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever your grandmother went through traumatically and those experiences, all that
It
energy is
trickles down.
carried. Yeah,
Right.
that trauma is carried through the next lineage. You see what I'm saying?
Right. That
When
makes
your
sense though.
when your mother comes out and she's birthed, she has all her eggs she's ever gonna have for her lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So then when she gives birth to you, these little girls you see out here, these little princesses, they have all of their eggs. So that makes them a mother, a grandmother, a great grand. You see, I'm breaking this
Mm-hmm.
down spiritually. It's the same thing with men. So the daughter is the reflection of the mother. And what do you see out here? I don't care for that music, that stuff, because they're not teaching these little girls to love yourself. Megan and all them ain't teaching them to
You know,
accept yourself, to value your body. These dudes
it's
ain't teaching
literally
them.
the opposite.
It's,
It's
it's not,
literally the opposite, and that's with both genders. And you can see how it has broken our family structures.
and so that's what I'm going to tell you. When the father was removed, the mother began to smother the son, and then they forgot about the value of a daughter. Remember, the
Mhm.
daughter is the character, the value of who we all are, because she is the future mother, grandmother, so forth. Because she's going to give birth to what? The son or the daughter.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So
Right. And
when
if
you
they're
see
left out there to kind of fend for
why
themselves,
you see the mother push the daughter out so fast.
yeah, they quick to do that.
You see what I'm saying? And so when the father is removed, then the mother, what you see right now in society, the mother
Mm,
is forced to be in her masculine energy. She's forced to be the protector, the provider, everything. And see, this is what you have with a lot of mothers who haven't healed their wounds, who haven't accepted a lot of things. And so they project their wounds and their hurt into their daughters.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so that right there, they forget about, the aspect of, again, the son has to one day grow into the father.
Mm-hmm.
If the mother is smothering the son, he can never grow into the father to protect the daughter.
Right.
See, a lot of this stuff, I'm telling you, like,
And when the mother smothers the son,
look at
it
mother, then put an S in front of it. Smother.
this is true. And then, but then too, it creates this very
Hypersensitive man.
yeah, and he's very dependent on the mother. Then when he finally does, let's say that he does find a woman who was in that nurturing environment, she can never compete with what the mom has done.
Let me tell you something. I'll tell you from experience. This is one thing I've learned to accept, even being in the presence of my mom, and then how it came full circle with my daughters. When I saw my daughter come through that womb, it changed everything, because it showed me creation. It showed me life. It showed me that this is bigger than me. You see what I'm saying? And so all men need to really experience that. You know what I'm saying? They need to see creation at its finest, because you see, this goes back to the whole father being removed. Like, people don't realize a lot of these places are corrupted because it was designed to keep us apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not afraid of.
Through every like time period, it has
Hmm?
always been. And then if you look at the black family unit versus any other culture, you don't see the fathers being removed in any other culture, and you don't see the levels of dysfunction that you see in our culture.
I was in California. Do you know America is the most incarcerated place in the world? I was living in California. That's the most incarcerated state in the world.
It's that money. It's so much money in the
Exactly. And
prison system.
so this is why people are awakening and become aware. They're starting to realize, like, I tell people, like, and I give actuality. I was like, yo, like, what's really going on here? And see, that's why I don't really blame a lot of mothers, because they're trying to love themselves. A lot of women right now are seeking freedom and peace. You see, the reason why they don't have that peace is because of what has happened through lineages. Again, they were forced to do what the man is supposed to do. You see what I'm getting at? And then that creates a woman that's wounded, a wounded masculine. Because whatever your image is of a man when you're young, you carry that image into every relationship. You're going to assume that every man's going to hurt you or harm you. I went through this with women. I had to accept this. I saw growing up what my mom went through, and I consumed that. Her, again, mother is the first teacher, then it's the son. So whatever she felt, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then that's why people don't realize, like, what your mom and your father feel is connected to the child.
Right.
You
And
see
you know,
what
I
I'm saying?
think for me, my experience has been opposite of what you're kind of saying, in the sense of, I think because I grew up in what I consider a stable two parent family, where my dad was a straight up provider. Like, he was out here working, hustling, whatever. And so when I look for that in a male. But if they haven't seen that, or they seen mama do it all, then it's like, hold on, wait.
Yeah, and
They
see,
got these roles reversed, because I'm looking for somebody to do that, and because you only seen your mama work 3 and 4 jobs, you think that because I'm working 3 or 4 jobs, I'm about to take care of you, and you play video games all day. No, baby, this not how this gonna work.
and
But
see,
we do what we see because that's all we know.
programming and conditioning, love. If you
Yeah,
think people really assume that, is it insanity doing the same thing expecting a different result? So you think,
absolutely.
oh, yeah, my mom and dad met when I got out of school in high school. They were, what do they call it?
Oh, your
Um,
little
High
high school
school sweetheart.
sweethearts.
high school sweethearts, and then we went to college and got married, and we had a
Right.
baby, and that ain't the reality of us. It's not niggas
It
grew up
really
in
ain't.
trenches. That's
Yeah,
not the
no.
reality. You see what I'm saying? So I'm watching TV and I'm seeing happy people. Then you know what that creates in me? Frustration. Because I'm like, I want that. Because I tell women, I don't care who you are, your career, your status, whatever you doing, how much money you making. Only thing a man wants right now, especially if he comes from a home that's, his past experience was painful and all these things are traumatic, and he's got to a place where he values peace. His relationships that he's gonna develop is valued on peace. If you're not at peace, baby, how you gonna come into his life and think that
Right. You
what?
can't create peace if you don't have it. Because peace is what people don't realize, is not something that you can create. You just gotta have it.
No, you got this is internalized. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I realize now, being at where I'm at. It's like I realize how much peace people aren't at with themselves. How they're not happy with themselves. It has nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn my emotional intelligence from people that was emotionally unavailable, parents. See what I'm saying? How the opposite. I had to
Yeah.
learn people who wasn't nurturing. If I see physical abuse, guess what I'm gonna want in life? I'm gonna want nurturing and affection.
Well, also too, a lot of times
Los know what I'm
we
talking about.
learn what we don't want through the experiences we go through. And that's why I feel like everything in life is necessary, even the good, the bad, all that mixed together, because
Yes.
especially like bad relationships, because it now lets you know what you do not want and what you will not tolerate.
Yeah.
And different
Boundaries.
people value respect and disrespect totally different, because they grow up in totally different households. So somebody might yell at you and they feel like that's just them being passionate, and you're like, oh no, baby, you're not gonna disrespect me like that. Like, you learn what you can deal with, what you can't deal
Yes.
with, what and then it helps you moving forward too, because then you can also appreciate once you meet good people, because you've been through bad.
Man, let me tell you something. I said this today on one of my YouTubes. One of the most challenging things is when you get out of a healed place and you
Mm-hmm.
start to set boundaries, is
Mm-hmm.
being open to love again, being open to receive love, being open to people that's genuine and not questioning that and not doubting that. Because let me tell you, when you've and that's why I can see why a lot of people that are on their journey where they're going through, like a healing aspect in their life, and they're seeing who people really are. Because one thing I'll tell people, look, I don't care what you guardian, a parent, whatever it is. It's a matter of time before your kids figure you out.
Right.
Okay, so
And
then when
kids
they
are
start to
smart. They're
stand in their
figuring it
power,
out. They're figuring it out all along. They
they've
just don't
already
know until
figured
they
you
have
out.
something to compare it to that it ain't normal.
You
So they
feel me?
figuring it out.
So then they get mad when you don't want to have nothing to do with it. Baby, my peace. I don't care what you can offer me, baby. It's my peace. Y'all not getting it. You're not realizing like around y'all. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be in the I'm telling you, when Aaliyah came here, whew, I was like, wow, I see why you meet people. Because sometimes you're meeting people to bring forth, for some people, you're bringing a different perception on life. Can
Yeah.
you imagine being an artist and trying to live your life? And man, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna get this, man. Speaking things, but I realized they're not even gonna be a part of it. They're
Right.
gonna be able to see it. And some of their punishment, they're gonna be able to see it, but not be in your presence.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Their punishment is to watch you this life, this in this life. Because they didn't appreciate it.
Right.
You
And
see what
that's
I'm
what
saying?
happens. People don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. And then
They
when it's
don't.
gone, you can't like just expect it to just come back. It's gone. It's gone. Gone means it ain't come back. So you have to appreciate in that moment that you have it, because once it's gone, it's gone.
That's the thing about the butterfly and genuine love, is that if nothing belongs to you here, do you know how much free you become of yourself when you realize that even when you came through your mother's womb, like you came here for your purpose to live that out. You know,
Right.
people, they don't know what it is. Like for some, like when I speak about this spiritual shit, this ain't no for the faint of heart. When you
It's really
have the very people that, oh my gosh, you look like you're wearing you da da da. But then they said we're all made in the image of who? So who are you to judge? This ain't the first time you
right.
seen somebody with their hair wrap or different color in their head. This ain't the first time you seeing this. And so it's the normal. It's not normal to them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think sometimes because what happens is when people are not at peace with themselves and they recognize that they see peace on you, they come to try to disturb your peace.
Yes.
Like whenever you get in a place in your life where you're kind of in that cocoon phase
It's
where you're
unbothered.
isolated, you're really in that development of you're unbothered. And even when people try to throw things at you, you're unbothered. Like if you think about really, like I love that analogy of the butterfly, because when that caterpillar is in that cocoon, I don't care how strong the wind is, I don't care what gets knocked up beside the cocoon, it's at peace, it's covered. And it's
Protected.
a
Exactly.
process of becoming what it has been destined to become. And nothing can stop a caterpillar from becoming a butterfly, but the caterpillar, like nothing can stop it. It's on its journey. And I think sometimes we as people, when we're on this journey, we have to get to that level of being unbothered. Like, because things are going to come to test you and try to knock you off course, but you got to keep that focus.
But
Like, it is what
let
it
me tell
is.
you,
It's
everyone
what
won't get there. Let me tell
right.
you something also.
Okay.
I was walking in the woods one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a butterfly, I saw a monarch. And I was like, wow. And automatically, I was like, that's me. And you notice butterflies, they're not meant to be caught. They want you to see them. And notice when a butterfly comes out of cocoon, I tell people this, it doesn't have a direction. They actually fly like this. Monarchs migrate around the world. People don't know that. They migrate like from here to all the way to the West Coast. They migrate around the world. And so when I went out to the woods one day, I was like, man, let me just take me a walk. I saw a butterfly, and on my way returning, guess what I saw? I saw a moth that was the same color,
Wow.
but it was on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it was telling me something about my journey. Is that everyone's not a butterfly. Everyone's not going to accept your path and like what you have to say, or believe in what you have to say. Everyone's not going to accept that. But everything that goes in a cocoon does not come out as a butterfly. It doesn't mean it does. That moth didn't have a purpose, but it showed me the persona, because personality. If you look at the root word of personality, persona in Latin means mask. So it's the personality these people have, and I was like, wow, this moth is serving its purpose, but at the same time, notice that moths fly to what? The light. They
The
fly
light.
right into the flame. You see what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
see, I was like, wow, you have people that are butterflies. You're gonna be magnetic, but at the same time, into your light,
Mm-hmm.
and not everyone is coming to. You notice how moths come, they just stay around the light. They linger around it.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They only come out at night
Right.
or
Because
when
they're
it's
going to
getting
that
dark.
light.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So everything serves its purpose. So I'm sitting here like, yo, and I had to see that on my journey because it was showing me about somebody in my life. That's just what I do. I connect everything to where it's like, what is this showing me? And it
Mm-hmm.
showed me how someone was portraying themselves as something, and then as soon as I stepped back, the walls
Yeah.
of Jericho, the floodgates
Right. But
open. I was
you're
like,
so right
whoa,
because
this is you right here.
yeah, because butterflies and moths are so similar, but they're not the same. And sometimes you can be on a similar journey and you can be right there beside somebody doing the same thing and you're two different things. They come out
Man,
totally different.
when we realize that no one belongs to us, we'll see the beauty in listening to our own heartbeat,
Mm-hmm.
honoring our own, like being aware of. I tell people, how many people know they're breathing? How many people are aware that they're breathing? How many people are actually aware that they're here? Like you said, living.
Right.
You ever saw that movie Soul?
Yes, that's a good movie.
It was
I love
telling you
that
that the
movie.
whole time. It was
Right.
like you see these people coming in, da da da, this and that. They're living this, but they don't even love what they do. They don't even love it. They don't
Mm-hmm.
even they don't even love what they do because they're just there.
Right.
But then sometimes it clicks for some people. It clicks. Then for sometimes it clicks for some people and they're already far gone. I
Yeah.
had some of the most like, and this is why like even with the artists, the whole spiritual coach and life coach and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
These are not titles that I'm attached to. This is just part of my evolution. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I want to inspire Los. I want to inspire you. You know what I'm saying? When
Mm-hmm.
I see the DJ thing, I'm like, you know what? Who's to say I couldn't do that? It's
Right.
for the experience though. When I see the Eiffel Tower behind Los, I'm like, Paris.
Right. Let's
It
go.
travel. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a DJ in Paris. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a what I would tell anybody if you're gonna take anything from here or receive anything from here, it's like imagination is power. You
Mm.
see that unicorn on the wall,
Right.
man? What? And look, when I made that post, I literally had talked to someone. They said, "Oh, you remind me of my ex." That's it. We don't need to talk no more. And guess what? That's what that post was referring to. She said I remind her of her ex, and she said her ex was the goat. I said, I'm the unicorn. You feel me? Don't compare. Don't ever let this world. If it says be ye not conformed, I'm not supposed to look like people. I'm not supposed to do what you do.
Right.
Everyone is not supposed to do the same thing. So I always teach these kids that, I like to say this analogy or whatever, your own universe. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Your own universe. That's what makes you unique. Is
Right.
when you walk in your authenticity. And I listened to this. I think his name is Santiago. And he said, He was talking about how you make people fall in love with you. I was like, what? That's a little dangerous because you know how we grow up. Like you don't want everybody to fall in love with you.
Right.
But what it is that he said, and this goes back to loving every version of yourself. Because how you think the you think the butterfly is concerned about what happened in the past as a caterpillar? It's not even in that stage anymore.
Right.
It's going to die as a butterfly.
Right.
So he said, you fall in love with people. You how you make people fall in love with you is you fall in love with them. And that's one thing I had to accept is like the people that I knew that was on drugs, the people that I knew that did whatever they did, and I had to look at my life. How could I judge them when I once did alcohol? When I once did certain things? And for me to fall in love with myself continuously, learn how to fall in love with every version of myself. So then when I see other people, what triggers them or what light that they see in me is that I embrace my darkness. I've fallen in love with that. You know what I'm saying? My demons don't have power here. You see what I'm saying? You got to speak that. And so
That's
then,
true because what happens is we get subject to our past and we don't get to enjoy our present. And then by the time you think about it, you already in your future.
you see what you see, that's the thing, being grateful in the present, being grateful for what has happened because it's behind you. And so what I realize why I'm here is that my past is my future. My pain is my gain. And so when people are like, what you doing in your hometown? I just planted seeds for generations, player. I just planted seeds for legacies. What is you doing?
Right. But I think
Oh,
it's very, very important on a journey to come back to your hometown. And the reason I tell people this is because, like you were saying earlier, you gain knowledge from all these other places, then you have to give it to somebody. You learn something. You can't just
it's
hold it up and harbor it for yourself. Teach it to someone else. Move on. Teach that experience and pass that knowledge and those lessons on to someone else.
but you know what's so really inspiring? You know you inspired these niggas. They
Right.
know that you inspired.
They're watching every move.
If I have to realize is that that's the heavy is the head that carries the crown. So I have to be very aware to know that let me tell you something that's real deep. I've already accepted death because it's going to happen to everyone here.
Right.
That's called peace. And so my journey again is that these are the same hands that I when I didn't know how to honor my emotions, when I didn't know how to honor, you know, who I truly was within, as a man, I will react rather than respond. When you respond now, you know what that do to people? You just be like this and just breathing. But again, these were the same hands that inflicted pain. I saw pain, but now these are the same hands that heal. These are the same hands that create. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is the thing that we have to be consciously aware of is that everything that we kind of do, it's not to say that the path is straight because it's not. Because you look at nature, nothing is straight.
Right.
So your path is going to be, what it is. But at the same moment, I tell people, I won't ever lose me again.
That's good.
You
That's
see what
good.
I'm saying? I won't ever. And see, that's called worth. And see, that's why I'm able to see where a lot of mothers and men going through a lot of stuff. Hey, bro, you angry? You mad? Why? Because I'm me. You you just don't know what it is to honor your emotions. You just haven't
Right.
seen a man in your life that can love you and accept you and say I love you. Oh, that's gay. That's no. You just never had that. Same with women. You just
Right.
never been in the presence of a man that honored his emotion. So you're triggered
Right.
by it. So you're like, oh, this nigga crazy. He feminine. Aren't we all? Don't we all? like have feminine traits and masculine traits. So what is this really about? You're just showing me that you're a little girl. When you look at a lot of these people out here, these women and men, deep down in them, there's a little child that's crying out for attention.
Absolutely.
There's a little child, whatever, and there's a pastor. He had this book called Damaged Goods, and it goes back to whatever they have received or learned through whatever men has inflicted pain or trauma on them. Or same thing with men. Whatever their assault, whatever they has witnessed, and it's been subconsciously programmed. It's like that's the darkness. They're gonna live that out, and that's why
Right,
we need a lot of mental
until that
awareness.
little boy and that little girl inside of them heals, it will always be there, and it'll throw temper tantrums, and it will rise up when certain situations come until it
That's how you see these people
until it
do.
heals. Yeah.
That's that's why you see these little kids. Whitney Houston said, "The greatest love of all is a beautiful song." And she says, "I believe the children are our future. Teach them well. Let them lead the way." Hmm. People, they 7 years are so vital
Hmm.
because of what they're learning and what they're receiving. It's just like a sponge. They're soaking up stuff. They're seeing this. If I grew up and you give me an image of a man that has straight hair and all this other stuff, he doesn't look like me. You think that's not going to affect the child when they get older? It's going to see another
Right.
people as superior. But then, I got people like you look in a book or whatever book, you look around the world, these people are dark. The origins of the world is dark.
Right.
You know, so people are now realizing that honoring their truth. They're starting to love themselves and honor the fact that, like, you know what, it's okay to be me. And that's
Right.
one thing I realize is that a lot of people aren't going, they're not going where I'm going.
Hmm.
Had I not walked away or had I not left that relationship or walked away from certain things, how would I have known who I really am? And
Right.
sometimes that door is not meant for nobody to fit through but you.
Hmm.
And so again, this is healing that's happening, especially in these communities now, because I myself and other people they're not realizing, like, I don't care how much money. I don't been around those people. I don't care how much fucking money you got. I don't care about none of that. Because you ain't right there with them kids at. You ain't in the community. You ain't talking to them.
Right.
You don't know what they going through. They're going through their own spiritual warfare. And then when they started learning reality of, like, hey mama, this ain't hey, that creates
Right.
resentment. Do you
It
not realize a
does.
lot of us are coming from places and dark places where we've been lied to our whole lives by the very people that say they loved us. I
Right.
tell
And then
people an
once
example. I say,
you find that truth, it creates that resentment, like you said.
stop telling your kids you're gonna do stuff for them. Then when you get home, you know you tired. Do you realize they're saying yes to everything? They say yes to everything. Then you get home and you're like, oh, mom, I thought we were gonna do this. Do you know what that builds?
Right.
That builds a foundation upon sand. That's not a foundation upon truth. And see, that's why a lot of people now are going through what they're going through. And people don't want to have nothing to do with them, is because they continuously wallow in their lives and dysfunction and think that's normal. That's not life. I had to
Right.
accept that with a lot of people in my family. I had to see why I was the one that changed a lot of things and what they call break a lot of generational curses. Because a lot of them are not going to see a lot of shit until it's tangible. Because that's all they know. When you're successful, when you live in this way, oh, hey, cuz, oh,
Oh yeah. Everybody your cousin, everybody know you.
no, keep that same energy. Playboy, playgirl, keep that same energy
Right.
because it was never love from the get-go. So
Yeah.
I don't I can be your enemy. I'm cool with that. I like it. But at the
Mm.
same time, I'm moving forward. I don't really this journey always goes on, and that's what people gotta realize. Like, for the mother you didn't have that love you, there's someone else out there that will.
Hmm.
For the father
That's
that
true.
didn't love you, there's a mentor, someone out there that will embrace you. We got to get past this whole concept of mother and father. That shit is really an illusion. because you have a mother and father inside of you. You see what I'm saying? You got to nurture you. You got to take care of
And
you.
like you were saying, sometimes the people that mother and father you are not necessarily your biological mother and father.
I learned
Sometimes
this.
that nurturing, and sometimes that mentorship and that hands-on approach. It might be somebody in the community, somebody at the church, somebody at the school, somebody,
Yeah.
a coach or what have you. Or it could be different people at different stages of your life.
It's the emotional attachment. See, that's what our people, if you look at a lot of people in the melanated community, it's their emotional attachment. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's what causes them suffering. It's their emotional attachment to how they feel people should be. And that's where you see control coming in. How they
Mm-hmm.
should be, dictate their life. And they don't even realize your whole life been dictated by a government, by people you don't even fucking know. Your whole
Right.
life. And you
Your
gonna
whole
tell me
life.
what to do and how to live my life? No. No. And see, that's the thing. I've always known this, Kels and Los. Like, since I was young, I was always out there in the woods. I was always out there trying to learn something. You know what I'm saying? This was preparation.
Right.
When I didn't want to be around people, I would go find somewhere to draw. I was going to find somewhere to play ball.
Yeah.
Elders. I would find people that were older than me because I realized that a lot of these people haven't even accepted their past. They haven't even accepted their pain. They're still trying to live that shit out. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so these kids, these kids that are out here, they need us. They really do.
True.
Like whatever you're doing, I commend you, congratulate you on whatever you're going through, Los, because life is gonna teach you regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you do, may you be the first to do it in your family. Sometimes it's meant for some of us to do it the first time. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us don't realize we're breaking generational curses and
Yeah.
cycles that people are afraid to
Taking.
face. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are afraid of themselves. They think it's somebody else. Oh, they got this, they got that. Let me tell you something. Spiritual currency, they won't tell you this, is the highest form of currency. It's something within your spirit that wherever you go, people are like, who are you? Who you know? They automatically assume it's your presence, it's your aura. They're like, oh man, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know somebody. And it'd be people with a lot of money. It'd be people with, from all walks of life. But it's who you are. You can't run from it. So you know what I'm saying? So continue doing what you're doing. I don't knock nobody for their path because I realized like one thing I've learned, I've been around millionaires. I've been around a lot of people with money. And I saw their character. You feel me? I saw their integrity. Don't go outside and treat people like this. Your ass could be right there.
Right.
And
Real
that's what's
quick.
happening right now in the world. The tables are turning. And it says right there in the word, the meek shall inherit the earth. And this is what's happening, and people don't want to accept it. You see what I'm saying? It says the last shall be first. The first shall be last, not the last shall be first. So for all that will see this, if you ever felt like you was in last, you were being prepared now to be first.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that beautiful? You see
It
what I'm
is
saying?
though, because when you're sitting in that second position, you can watch and see, and you know how to get in the flow of things. But
Right.
also too, you learn from those low experiences, because it's like like once I get it, I ain't never coming back down here again.
But don't forget about that though, because the thing about
Right,
this is that your lows are your highs.
that's true.
See what I'm saying? Your highs are really your lows, but it's all perception. And see, that's the thing
That's what I was gonna
about
say next. It's
now.
perception.
Yeah, I don't praise them, man. I've been around those folks, man. And with me. I realized this. Spirit put it on. It was my heart. You feel me? Some of us have a
Mm-hmm.
heart that's bigger than us, and it's when they say pure, the pure at heart, you don't lose people, they lose you.
Right,
You feel me? But
that's
you
true
don't
though.
really lose them, is that they lost themselves in the idea of you.
That's it.
And the idea that you're supposed to be this way, look this way, or any of that. And that's what I realized. Like everyone has their season.
Right.
Everyone that came into my life, they served their purpose. I honored that, and I realized I was like, you know, it's just acceptance. So one thing for me is that those same people, like y'all gonna probably go through this, they're gonna return. And let me tell you something. You don't know me. You never really knew me.
Right.
And see, that's the thing when you go through that cocoon stage is that they never really knew you because you really never knew you. So when you out here in the world, you realizing like these people never really knew themselves. So that's the compassion I have for myself and others. But at the same time, you're never going to get that same me again. I'm really like reintroducing myself to the world right now. That stuff
So
y'all seen right there, that ain't me. That's a they ain't seen nothing.
so with that being said, we're about to kind of wrap up. What are some things that we can expect from you next, or do you know? What are
Do
some
I
things?
do I know?
Yeah, because sometimes you don't know what's next.
Well,
Sometimes you do.
for one, pay very close attention to my YouTube, who all subscribe and share, and also on my Facebook. Um, so yeah, just pay very close attention because um, it's it's so much of people gonna know what's genuine. And that's the thing about going through your experiences. You're gonna know what's genuine. If I tell people anything before this, you're gonna start to realize that a lot of these people that they've been praising, it's fictitious. They were living on a like I've been around it, and so
Mhm.
now we're building. You're gonna watch a foundation being built, an empire being built upon truth and love, and so you're gonna see that displayed through art. Through connecting with other people around the world. Like this is only the beginning. Like when a flower comes out of that dirt, it doesn't go back in there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It returns to it when it withers away, but it isn't when it sprouts, you're gonna see it. And so there's so much more that come, more art. Again, y'all tap in with me if you need a commission,
That was gonna
portrait.
be my next question. So do you commission pieces, or do you like just make stuff and then go from there? Like, how do you do it?
So I do I'm gonna be open to do commissions. And they can contact me through either email or Facebook Messenger, or on the social medias. I do commissions like for portraits or pretty much whatever I'm going to create is going to be unique. It's not going to look like anything else. And I tell people, look, when you're using your gift, our artists put energy in this. Okay, I put my whole like life on pause to create something. So when you see whatever y'all do, low scales, look, let people know your worth and know your value, because what somebody else won't do, somebody else will. You see what I'm saying? Because ain't
I was
nobody got
just
time to
saying,
be playing with y'all folks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People got things to do out here. I love to travel. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I
Right.
had to learn is create a lifestyle around art and traveling. Mm. So what else? It's gonna be what spirit like poetry. It's gonna be a lot of stuff because it's coming from um, books, a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, a book that you need to go look for is it's called Divine Feminine Psyche, and you can
Okay.
find it on Barnes and Nobles. Uh, I think it's on all platforms, Barnes and Nobles especially, and what's the other ones? Yeah, they got the sale going on too.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
So it's called Divine Feminine Psyche, and
Okay.
I did the cover art, and then the author is Leah Liya Leon Lionnne. Should be that. Yeah. And
Okay.
so, what else? Again, yeah, I do personal, custom graphic designs. Like I said, whatever I can create is going to be unique. Like if you have a picture of like an old family member or whatever, and you want to be incorporated, something with your kids, go look at my Facebook page, my Instagram, and you'll see the masterpiece that I create. Because again, you're not going to get nothing like this. And that's one thing. You got to be proud about your gifts. It was given to you. Okay. Okay. So there's more stuff that's coming. Let me see what else. There's so much more content. Like I said, I'm grateful for and honored for the platform, Kels, and
Most
connecting with
definitely,
you, Los.
we definitely have to have you back on to get a part two. And
Yeah, I'll
just
be getting
check
deep,
in.
you know.
Right.
But I love it because we need this because again, especially the healing that's taking place in our communities. And I'll say this before I go: it's like your path is for you. Your purpose. You are being prepared for this, and that's one thing I learned. Is like coming from people that when you're trying to not carry that image of selling drugs, uh, belittling, just all those things that desensitize, devalue our women and people. That's just not me. You know, I had to see it, but at the same moment, only for me to change the whole um, dynamics and the narrative. Because again, we the leaders now. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. We the leaders.
Right.
There's no leaders like they were corrupted before. It's clearly you can see that now. But we are the leaders. You got to be the leader in your own life. And people get this misconception of leaders. Um, they don't put the strongest wolf at the front. People don't know that. They're at the back because you care for the ones that's in the front. A leader actually cares for the surroundings of everybody else. You care for those because whatever's behind you, you'll face that first. See what I'm saying? But if you're in the front, something can happen to everybody behind you. You not know.
All right.
Right.
Stuck on.
See what I'm saying? So, um, and that's just my opinion on it. But again, there's so much more to come. Like I said, I got so much content on my other camera, to where I'm going to empower, especially dark men, melanated men, to honor their emotions. Because I had videos where, I shed a little tear, but it was more like poems that speak to the heart. Stuff that we've experienced, and then honoring that. You know, um, poems that's what you're going to see displayed in my art as well. Empowering women of color, women that you know you don't have to go get a surgery, you don't have to go do all that stuff to alter your body. Like, love your curves. Again, nothing in nature is straight. So
Right.
curve is in big lips. Like, if you go on my YouTube and stuff, that's what's gonna happen now. This is where I'm gonna leave it at.
Mm-hmm.
We as people, this is gonna be the beauty of it. Everything that the world has taught you to hate, you should turn around and love it. Because Kanye said it in a song. They teach us to hate ourselves and love their wealth.
They will. Yeah.
But their wealth is nothing, because it's really not wealth at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bob Marley said, in an interview, he was telling this man was like, "Aren't you rich?" He's like, "What do you call riches?" He said, "My riches is in life. My riches is forever." Once we
Right.
start to grasp that concept, like legacy, then you will realize how important it is for mothers to walk in your truth, to honor your feminine traits. And see, this is what we're healing right now. The women are now honoring their emotions and healing themselves
Mm-hmm.
and getting back in tune. And this is what I'm here for: men to remind the women and men to like stand up, live your life, love life on purpose, man. Because some people may not ever apologize or say they're sorry, whatever it is, until their deathbed, or they may not even say it at all. You
Right.
can't be looking for that. I had to learn that because they don't owe me that. I don't owe them anything. So
Yeah, that forgiveness is for you. And once you let that go, you can really move forward.
but what's very important after forgiveness?
What?
Acceptance.
Mm.
You got to accept, because forgiveness for me is like, yeah, I forgive you, and then sometimes it's like, but it's acceptance. You got to accept that this is who I am. This is who they are. They may not ever change. And then when they do change, it may not be until they leave this world, or when they choose to change, it may not be when I'm not even around.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because that goes back to your light. We gotta give people their flowers now, man. Seriously, like people going fast. We gotta. I'm finna enjoy this shit. Like I don't care how
Right.
nobody feel. You better enjoy. You better laugh more. You better. And this is one thing our people are coming out of trauma. And I know we got to get out, but we need to learn to unprogram ourselves. And a lot of us are going through unprogramming. It's like we
Mm-hmm.
need to expect good things now. You know how that how difficult it is for our people. Some of our people. We need to expect the good now. Expect good people to come into your life. Expect you to be financially free. Expect you to want great things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody ain't free here. So
That's true. Well, we thank you for coming on, for sharing, for pouring out, for pouring in. And we
right.
definitely are gonna have to have you back again for more discussions and checking in and seeing where you are on this beautiful journey. But we want to definitely thank you for your time. All those who are watching, make sure you're following Terrence on social media. Everything's listed down below. If you're not already following him, make sure you're subscribing to that YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, so that you can keep up with him, so that you can commission him to get some artwork done. You
Oh, I
maybe you
got
can.
one more thing too. Not other
Oh, what
just
you got?
than artwork. Because I motivational speaking and everything.
Yes.
That connects with the life coaching. So if people want to contact me, they maybe want me to speak at a school or speak to the youth, mentor. Contact me. And
Most
sometimes
definitely.
everything don't come. It don't gotta come with money, but it is appreciated.
It is
I
highly
tell
appreciated.
people, donations are acceptable, but at the same moment, it always returns tenfold. What you give, put out, it's gonna return. So
Right.
sometimes our focus need not to be looking for something in return. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
return. It's just not on our time. So yeah, the motivational speaker or the public speaker, you know, tap in with me, and I'll keep you updated. Again, I appreciate the platform. Uh,
Most definitely.
I'm grateful.
Don't shed a tear now.
She gonna cry in the car. No, I'm just
Oh Lord. But we thank you for being on. We definitely have to have you on again.
yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. And I love what you're doing. Keep continue. See, some of us are just gateways, man. I appreciate you opening that door.
Most definitely. Well, we will definitely see you again. Los. Los. Well, look, me and Los about to get out of here too, y'all. We want to thank y'all for watching tonight. Make sure that you guys get on, not next week, it's Los' birthday, but make sure. What do I care about your birthday? Anyway, I'm joking, not really. Y'all, make sure y'all get on not next week. It's Lo's birthday, but the next week for the anniversary reunion show. And no, it's not like Housewives. Been like, oh, we should. Oh my
We
God!
should
Well,
do this.
not for season one ending, but maybe by season two we'll have a little building and we can bring people in.
Oh yeah.
I said what I said.
And I would that's so nasty. So
So
rude.
rude.
So
Yes,
nasty.
we can have an Atlanta
So
housewife theme. We can have like little peaches and everything. Bit much. All right. Well, look, y'all, we about to get out of here. We thank y'all for watching. Tune in again, not next week, but a week after that. DJ Kels and Friends, and